Frugal Crafter. Happy 4th of July almost. Today I'm going to show you how to make these cute little hair bows in under 10 minutes using supplies from our sponsor Offray. You can find them online at offray.com, and I'll put links in the video description so you can find exactly all the products that I use today. Now let's go to the studio and make some cute hair bows. Here are the supplies we're going to use. I have 2 1/4 inch double-faced satin ribbon by Offray. I have this beautiful metallic chevron in sapphire from Offray, and also this lovely dotted red grosgrain ribbon from Offray as well. And I'll have links in the video description so you can find these exact products that I used. You're also going to need some sort of barrette, and I have a spring clip here, a hot glue gun, and also a rhinestone for the center of our bow. So you can use whatever you want for that. If you don't have a rhinestone, a cute button would be adorable in that just as well. So I'm using a bow maker here, and this is one my husband made me, but you could use whatever brand you have, or if you don't have any, you could even take a couple strong clothespins and put them on the side of a box about 4 inches apart. We're going to be wrapping all of our ribbon together, and what I like to do is actually unwind a bit and make sure it's not twisting up and kind of have that slack on my table. It just makes it a lot easier for working. So there, I'm unwinding it a bit. Working right off the spools here, because if you work off the spools you have way less waste. Now I'm going to line the smaller ribbons, kind of stack them on top of the wider ribbon. And I want to do this so that the smaller ribbon will be on the outside. That way I'll be able to see all of these ribbons at once. So if I have the blue and the red side by side on top of the dark blue, then that's kind of how my bows are gonna be made. So I want to take this whole stack over here onto my bow maker like that, and I'm going to wrap that around 3 times. Just trying to make sure, and actually probably spinning my bow maker around is a little bit easier because I want to make sure that I keep the little ribbons on the outside here. So there's one complete wrap. I've lost my tails, but I'll be able to find them again in a second. I'm going to go around again. Try to keep your ribbons flat. If you twist them, you don't really know where they're going to end up. And I usually don't do it this way, but I think this is going to be the best way to keep my ribbons on the outside. Okay, and I want to make sure that I have no twists and all of my loose ribbon is on the back. And this way, actually, because the red grosgrain has a has pattern on one side but not the other, I really want to make sure that I've got those red spots on the outside. Okay, now that I've got all of my ends to the back, okay, my off the spool ends and my loose ends to the back, I want to see 1, 2, 3. Oh, I need one more complete wrap here of this one, so I'm going to go around one more time. So you got to count the loops on both sides, or you're going to end up shy on one. Cut my ribbon here so I have plenty to work with, but since I did go off the spool, I'm not really going to have any waste other than just kind of trimming it off at the end. What I want to do now that I have it wrapped is I want to grab the 2 ends and twist them together on the back, and then I'm going to make sure that my little ribbon strands are sandwiched in between that big piece. I'm going to pull that under all of my other ribbons, because you've got quite a big bundle of ribbons there, and then pull it to the back. And then if I look at the front, I should see that I have a nice even amount of ribbon on each side. Then I'm just going to do a really strong knot here in the back, a double knot. You want to make sure you have that knotted really well before you take it off your bow maker. So you can see the back there. Even the back is pretty. And tie that up really good so that my loops don't come out. Don't trim it yet. Don't trim it till you're ready to glue it. So this is what we have now, and I'm going to give this another tug now that it's off the bow maker. And now I want to carefully spread apart my bows so that I don't lose the pattern ribbons on the inside of my bow. So I'm going to pull them gently apart, and I'm going to, if I get any ones that are twisted up, I'm just going to gently flip them so that I have the pattern on the outside. Because sometimes they do get a little gnarly in there, and sometimes you have to go in there and go hunting for the other little ribbons to make sure they all show. So spend a few minutes just kind of fluffing out your bow. This is just such a simple bow that you can make you know, right before an event. So if you're getting ready to go to a 4th of July barbecue or parade and you just want to have something a little fancy, maybe to make for your kids to wear, you can totally do that. Well, I've got some ribbons hiding on this side that I have to find. Tucked away in there somewhere on me. Just try not to distort your bow if you're going on a hunt for ribbons. If you can't pull them all out, it's not that big of a deal. Sometimes they get in cozy somewhere and they're hard to find. Not a big deal. So at this point, I'm going to stop fluffing with it. I can always mess with it a little bit more later if I want. I want to make sure it's pretty symmetrical. And now I am going to trim, because now I'm just about ready to put it onto my, my clip. So I'm going to trim. And I'm actually going to glue after I trim, because sometimes the knots will want to come unknotted. That's happened to me before when I've trimmed it and haven't glued it or anything. So I actually will kind of pre-glue, put some glue on my knot, put some glue on the ends to make sure things don't fray. And then I'll just sit it like that while I'm getting my barrette ready. And then on the barrette, what I'll do is I will put a bead of glue along the entire edge. And these do have holes in them for sewing. But the hot glue is just so easy, and I haven't had an issue with it coming apart. I suppose if, like, you know, maybe you had some really, you know, it was going to go through some high wear and tear, maybe if there were like cheer bows or something, you might want to add a couple stitches in there too, but I think I'd still use the hot glue. And I'm just going to press the edges of the bows down in there. And for a final touch, I'm just going to glue a rhinestone in the middle. And you could use any of your patriotic colors, but I think I would use, like, I don't think I would use blue just because it's not going to show up as well. I'm going to do silver, so I have a matching pair. And I'm going to glue it right there in the center with my hot glue. You could also use, you know, fabric tack or something like that. A wash of glue that you can wash. But there you have it, a cute little set of bows that you can make for this 4th of July. I want to thank you so much for watching today. Please check out our sponsor, offray.com. You can find them online at www.offray.com. Happy crafting!